Hello. So I'm working on my crochet blanket. Well, crochet cross stitch blanket. Right now I am one stitch away from finishing Caterpie, and I got a couple of ends I gotta weave in. And then I have all the colors picked out for Charmander, and I'm about 10 stitches away from finishing him. And I am about 10 rows away from finishing my first 100 rows in the blanket. So I'm pretty excited about that. I have also fixed an issue that I came across without having to undo a whole bunch of the blanket. So it's kind of hard to tell because the fix was so good. A little bit right there. Do you see how these stitches kind of look doubled in there? Like they're kind of dense. That is because I accidentally decreased the stitch. Like I accidentally picked up only one stitch out of two, or accidentally crocheted them together. I still don't know. It didn't make a hole in the blanket, but it did make for about 10 rows one less stitch than I was supposed to have across. So I was able to very carefully break each square up into 2 squares, so I didn't have to undo all 10 rows and all the cross stitch I did on top of the crochet. So I'm fairly happy about that. I'm making pretty good progress on this blanket. I think I want to try to keep crocheting until I at least get a decent dent into this thing, because I'm to the point where I started taking apart mandala cakes for some of the colors that I'm having trouble getting a hold of. And so like I'll have balls about this big for stuff, and it's working well. Like, don't get me wrong, it's working very well. I'm able to finish Pokemon with the balls. But I want to make sure that I'm finishing all of that Pokemon with that ball before I take some from another cake and then find out that there's like a color lot issue in between them. So trying to get all of the Pokemon to appear before I finish them off, and I wish I would have thought about that before I started stitching this one, because he goes all the way up to like 365, and I'm like down here. So I got a lot, actually I'm a little further down than that. Yeah, I'm like right here-ish. And so I gotta crochet all of that before I let go of 2 of the balls that I'm working on. So, but I'm just setting those ones aside, and I'm gonna keep crocheting for him. But yeah, we're coming along pretty well. So see if I can do this without having to rearrange too much. So there is a tiny bit left I have to do for Butterfree. Caterpie is missing literally 1 stitch, and it's just because I missed it earlier. I got a lot of Bulbasaur filled in. I'm missing 1 color for him. Color around his mouth for his eyeballs. This one, he's going to need a lot more done to him. Ivysaur. Look how close I am on Ivysaur. I got like a couple of squares I need to fill in. That's it. There's Butterfree. Ekans, Aardvark, Pikachu. And we have Weedle, Beedrill, just a tiny bit more on Charmander. Charmeleon needs a lot more. And then these guys, I'm gonna start working on them soon, but I want to figure out what ball of yarn I got the match for this bit on, because I want it to be consistent across the 3 of them. The Squirtle's starting to actually look like a Pokemon and less like a blob that was kind of ignored. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's blue on blue, but I'm starting to get some of that one done. Got a lot of progress on him. Even Blastoise has been getting some love. Been ignoring him since like the beginning, but right here, that's actually cross-stitched in. Yeah, you can see it there. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with the progress I'm making right now. I am. And I've gotten to the point where for the penguins, I actually think I have them all in here. Give me a second and I will go and get them. Okay, there's one more that the body's all done on, but I can't find him. But here's the one that just needs beak, eyes, and the feet sewn on. And then these two are at the point where they need the stuffing stuffed into them and then the last like 2 or 3 rows done on them. I did this, like cut off the yarn and twisted it around them because I was at work and I needed to get them off of the yarn so I could work on the next one. And then I have one that's still attached to the yarn in there, and I should have one more where like he's at this level. And if not, I have questions like where on earth did his head go? Because I know I've made 5 heads and I'm on the last one that I wasn't as thrilled with. Each one of the heads I did a different technique for doing the color changes. I gotta say, I like this one the best, but this one took the most amount of time. So I don't know if I'd ever do that for the future. But yeah. I'm also thinking about, as a side project, taking one of the sprites from, not the pattern that I'm using, but like the sprites that inspired the pattern that I'm using, and using that to make a sweater, or at least a tapestry. I don't know if I'm gonna do that just because of how labor intensive these guys are. And I kind of want to finish this before I work on anything else, but also this is going to take me like 2 years to do. Like I am on day 85 of working on this blanket and it's not done yet. But yeah. Anyways, that's the update on how all the crochet stuff is going. I still haven't worked on that thing yet. And I'm probably going to be looking into different small projects I can work on, probably like little critters. That way I actually have something to show you guys besides, hey, look at the minute amount of progress I've made on this thing, even though it's like hours and hours of work. I sat there and recorded just the black right in this area right here that I put in. And it was 20 straight minutes of cross stitching just to get the black in that area. And it takes me about 20 minutes to add one row just because of how many, there's 300 stitches on this guy. And I'm not a fast crocheter nor a fast cross stitcher. I would not even have classified myself as a cross stitcher before I started this project. But yeah, I've been making progress on him. I'm very, very happy. Anyways, bye. I almost forgot. I'm adding in a short clip, or maybe the whole thing, of the black that I added in. So this is what it looks like before I added in black, and this is when I started adding it in. I fumble a lot while I am cross stitching, and you'll even see later on me pulling out some stitches because I counted wrong when I added them in. But I'm going to be quiet now so that you guys can listen to the ASMR.